Hello, my name is Dawn Casey. Welcome to Are You Stressed at Work? Today we're going to talk about what you can do about it. You know, times are challenging right now, especially with the pandemic going on, not to mention the millions of people that have lost their jobs and companies that are going out of business. Times are definitely changing. However, even before this pandemic started, job stress was on the rise. According to an Everest College survey performed, 83% of U.S. workers are stressed out from work. Yes, this means that 8 out of 10 people are highly stressed. While this number may vary depending upon the survey, there's no doubt that stress and work-related stress is a serious issue facing employees today. If that's not bad enough, according to the last Gallup survey that was performed in 2017, 85% of people hate their jobs. That means there's 85% feel emotionally disconnected from their jobs. Now, workplace stress and whether someone likes their job absolutely goes hand in hand. This video is going to talk about the definition of workplace stress, the signs of stress, what diseases are even caused by stress. But then we're going to take a very positive look at what the causes are, some solutions, and some practical steps you can take to alleviate that stress. All right, let's get into our topic. Are you stressed at work? My name is Dawn Casey with over 20 years of leading human resource departments and the recruitment function. I now help people with their career challenges, changes, and of course questions. This is the Career Rescue Coach YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. What makes this channel a little bit different is that I've been helping employees navigate the career waters for the last 20 years. And I've been very successful in my own career and share my experiences and my many stories with you throughout my videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. I'd love to hear from you and love for you to see the upcoming videos. Let's get started on Are You Stressed at Work? What is workplace stress? Workplace stress is a harmful physical and emotional response that occurs in an employee when they're not able to cope with the work demands. You know, workplace stress manifests in all different ways in different people. I once had a job where I reported to a really bad manager. I became so stressed that I began experiencing panic attacks which manifested into heart palpitations. I knew I had to do something right away. I took a health leave of absence, and when I returned, I was able to get off this manager's team and begin reporting to somebody else. It made such a huge difference to step away and then come back and change the situation. Here are some other typical signs of stress: headaches, fatigue, heart palpitations, sleeping difficulties, regular stomach upset, depression, anxiety, feelings of being overwhelmed, Sunday depression. We all have felt Sunday depression, mood swings, and irritability. You know, with prolonged exposure to chronic work stress, there are a number of diseases that you expose your body to. Some of those diseases are diabetes, hair loss, heart disease, hyperthyroidism, obesity, sexual dysfunction, tooth and gum disease, ulcers, and the big one, yes, cancer, and even heart disease or heart attacks. I know someone that was under constant stress at my last job, and she ended up getting breast cancer. You know, knowing her as well as I did, I knew what the root cause was. It was the fact that she was under constant stress, and I swear that's what brought it on. Stress also takes an emotional toll. While some stress may produce feelings of mild anxiety or frustration, it also causes loss of confidence, and prolonged stress can lead to burnout, anxiety disorders, and depression. Your health is so much more important than that job. What causes workplace stress? Here are a few things that come up in the workplace and how people feel that it affects them, according to another study. 20% of people feel that their stress is people-related issues. It's difficult to work with people 8 hours or more a day that you may not otherwise even associate with. Some we may like, some not as much. It also makes it much more difficult if you have to work in a place where workplace bullying or harassment is tolerated, or it's simply a very toxic work environment. 20% of people feel that stress is related to the lack of work-life balance. In today's world, work-life balance is more important than ever. Work-life balance means different things to different people. It could mean a modified work week, a modified work schedule, freedom to attend children's events, or working remotely. Again, it means different things to different people. And 6% feel a lack of job security today, especially in today's climate. It's tough to know if the job will survive or be there tomorrow. This causes considerable amount of stress to people. A whopping 46% feel that their stress is related to the actual workload of the job. Workloads have indeed increased because as companies cut back, there has to be somebody there to pick up the slack. And of course, that means more work for everybody. Keeping up with email, projects, daily work, becoming more and more of a struggle every day. It becomes the employee's issue when in reality it's really the employer's issue for not hiring enough help. Additional issues cited are not being able to disconnect from the office and can cause additional stress. Jobs today often require employees to check their emails or be available and take calls on their off time, which is not reasonable. Or if the workload is so heavy that it requires employees to do work in their off time just to barely keep up. Another thing cited is low wages. It's definitely a contributing factor today as far as the growing discourse. Employees' wages have been slow to grow over the years, but purchasing power is slowly decreasing with the income equality gap growing ever larger. Employees are struggling to make a decent wage and to purchase the very basic necessities. So, what can we do about this? Okay, so if you're struggling with any of these issues, let's go ahead and take a look at each individual issue and break it down. If you're struggling with people-related issues, consider talking to your manager or HR and see what suggestions they might have. If you're feeling that you're bullied or harassed at work, report this immediately to your manager and HR. If a coworker is a little rough and difficult to get along with and you're struggling to get along with them, practice keeping distance and just simply avoid the person. Now, if something should come up between you and that coworker, be sure to deal with that issue directly, talk to that person, and try and work it out. Then if there's no resolution, talk to your manager. Really put in the commitment to work through whatever those issues are. If you're challenged with work-life balance, figure out what work-life balance means to you. Does this mean a modified work schedule? Does it mean modified hours? Make that determination, ask your manager for that accommodation. You know, also working from home a few times a month or once a week can go a long way as to helping you balance your life. I have a friend that works from home 4 out of 5 days a week and she loves that option. If you're struggling with feeling lack of job security, consider getting a side hustle. A lot of people are doing this today. It creates a lot more confidence and makes you feel like you're not so much on the edge for your finances. And then find a more secure job. No one should feel constantly like their job is in jeopardy. This is not a healthy work environment if this is the case. Go look for another job. If you're challenged by working off the clock, talk to your manager about off-the-clock time. Honestly, people should absolutely be paid for any time that they work at all. If you're an hourly employee, any work performed outside of work, if it's work-related, you absolutely should be paid for it. In fact, it's illegal for you not to be. If you're a salaried employee and the expectation is to continue working from home, or if you can't keep up with the workload and you're working from home, that's not okay. You definitely want to look into whether that job is worth it or not. Expectations are hard to change for a job if that is the case. I know I worked at a job that a lot of hours were required. I was working weekends and weeknights in order just to barely keep up. And I tell you, in the end, it wasn't worth it and I left the job. If you're struggling with a fair wage, now, what you want to first do before you make a guess as to whether you're being paid fairly, you want to do some research and look up your wage. The best way to do this is put in whatever the title of your job is, followed by the city, state, and by the word pay scale. And it will bring up a really good overview on your job, the high, low, and medium range of your position, and in accordance to experience what people tend to get paid on average. Now, if you find that you are being underpaid, then give your employer a chance to make it right. Go and talk to your manager about this, show them the research that you did, and ask for an increase. Now, sometimes this works, most of the time it does, but if it doesn't and they fail to come through on making that wage more equitable, then I would consider leaving the job because if they're not willing to do it today, chances are it doesn't look good for the future either. So consider looking for another job, unfortunately. Here are some additional tips on how to handle work-related stress. Number one, guys, leave the job. No job is worth your health. So begin looking for a new job. Even if it's a job that is a temporary job and just bridges the gap, what I call those is bridge jobs, that's okay. Get yourself into a better place physically and emotionally. Number two, begin incorporating 30 minutes of cardio. I know this sounds very simple, but cardio burns stress. It's one of the best stress relievers. And especially if you sit in a job all day or behind a computer, your brain may be tired, but your body needs that workout. Number three, take up yoga. Yoga is so good for both the mind and the body, and it's very good at centering and really calming the body down. So consider taking up yoga. Number four, take a walk during lunch times. This simple addition to your routine can take the edge off the day. I knew someone that used to do this regularly, and he just swore by it. Number five, take a nap at lunch. Now, I used to do this quite a bit, especially my last job where it was very high stress, a lot of work hours. And so I take a 30-minute nap during my lunch, and it just took the edge off. It made such a big difference. Number six, consider taking a natural supplement that helps you with stress and helps your immune system manage that stress. I did this as well in my last job and have done this prior because your immune system takes on that stress and it really knocks down your immune system, and it's much easier to get sick when you're so stressed. But there are natural supplements that can help you boost your immune system and really help you through that. Number seven, reduce caffeine intake. Caffeine actually takes a toll on your thyroid, as does stress. Thyroid is your stress handling organ, so if you're taxing it with caffeine, you're making it worse. So let up on the caffeine and give your thyroid a chance to actually work and help you manage that stress as well. So make sure you take care of yourself, as prolonged stress on the body can cause all sorts of problems and of course disease, and you don't want to get there. So no job is worth your health. We have talked about the workplace stress and what that definition is, what the signs of stress is, and what problems it can cause. Then we talked about the common types of work stress and how to combat those and turn things around. We also talked about some practical steps that you can take to just alleviate stress in general. So please remember to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to check the Career Rescue Coach Facebook page for great articles and for your questions. Be sure to share your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And here are my social media addresses for you to come visit me in other locations. I will soon have a website that will be called the Career Rescue Coach, and I'll let you know as soon as that is up and going. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Dawn Casey as a Career Rescue Coach, and remember, change your job, change your life. Be safe and be well.